Hey, hello, welcome to the end of week 4, Monday Night Football. The Vegas Raiders go and take on the Chargers in SoFi Stadium. I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, and let's sink our teeth into what should be a fantastic game. Hey, hello, and we are back. Once again, I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall. And boy, oh boy, what a week 4 it was. Hopefully, it was as profitable and fun for you as it was for me. That's all we're ever trying to do. Let's have fun. Let's build some momentum, friendships, however you want to put it. But in terms of tonight's football game, the Vegas Raiders go to the Los Angeles Chargers in SoFi Stadium in this one. Justin Herbert versus Derek Carr. A lot of goodness going on in this one, and we'll get to it. Just hang tight for a moment. I want to talk about Team Rise or Fall briefly. Go like and share and subscribe. And you can use promo code Beastie. Tell them, my cat sent you. Hopefully you won't get laughed out of the building, but that's what we've created here. Just a fun kind of creative environment. And if you look at the screen right now, it's only $9.99 a week, which boils down to $1.42 a day. I mean, that's easy peasy. Come on now. Or you can spring for the $29.99 monthly package, which is just as good. I'm telling you, I say it every video, and I will never stop yelling it from the mountaintops. The Discord here at Team Rise or Fall is outstanding. I know you try not to get ahead of yourself, especially in DFS formats, but folks are already talking about the upcoming NHL season, the upcoming NBA season, and we're already building lines and talking strategy for week 5 of the NFL season. So don't miss out. Go and join the Discord. The Discord's free at Team Rise or Fall. You don't need to sign up for premium services to join the Discord. So hopefully I'll see you there. If you pop in there, tag me. Let's chat. Send me a DM, and we'll go from there. In terms of this football game tonight, this is going to be unbelievably fantastic. There's a lot of high-priced studs, and there's also some cheaply priced kids who I think we can use to get over on the larger groups of folks here. So let's just get right into it. We'll start at the top with the quarterbacks here. So Justin Herbert, this kid is phenomenal. The Pepsi Rookie of the Year. And tonight, he plays Vegas. They're hosting the Vegas Raiders, as I said. Las Vegas is 9th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Justin Herbert, $15,500 on FanDuel, $11,200 on DraftKings. Now, again, these are all flex prices. I made the mistake. I believe with the Thursday Night Football video, I gave out mostly the captain spots MVP video. So I appreciate the guy who shouted me out and said, hey, you made a mistake on YouTube. So I'm going to be very mindful of that moving forward. So Justin Herbert, we know what we're going to get from him. This kid, you can pencil him in for what? 250 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and that's just his floor. So at the price on FanDuel, $15,500 and DraftKings, $11,200, he's very much in play. I mean, normally on single game slates, I said it, on Sunday night with Tom Brady and even Mac Jones. I said I'm going to fade Tom Brady here because everybody in the world is going to be on TB12 in their MVP spot, in their captain spot. We'll take what I said Sunday and throw it out in the trash. This is a new day. This is Monday Night Football. I'm going to have very high ownership to Justin Herbert. Kid is worth it, and he's almost, as they say in DFS circles and buzzwords, he is a free square. So let's use him. The other quarterback in this one, Derek Carr, the Vegas Raiders. They go to the Chargers, as I've said 17 times. The Chargers are 7th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Derek Carr is more expensive than Herbs. Carr is $16,000 on FanDuel, and he's only $10,800 on DraftKings. So Carr is more expensive than Herbs on FanDuel, but he's cheaper than Herbs on DraftKings. I don't know. Makes sense to me. But here's another guy that warrants our attention here. Derek Carr had an awesome start to the season. He's slinging the ball all over the place. Gruden and this offense is starting. It's humming, right? And it's only 4 weeks into the season. So I'm very much excited to see what Derek Carr, Gruden, and the overall Vegas Raiders have in store for us tonight. Let's go to the running backs. It's easy. I mean, this one's as easy as it gets. Austin Eckler, Vegas Raiders. They're 16th overall against opposing running backs. Eckler, $13,500 on FanDuel, $9,600 on DraftKings. Now, normally, if you guys and girls have watched my single game slate videos, you'll understand that high ownership people, I tend to fade in single game slates, in GPPs because there's no edge, there's nothing to be gained here. But Austin Eckler needs to be 100% owned in this one. I could see a case where, I mean, broken down to its simplest form, Austin Eckler with 100, scrimmage yards, that's set in stone, right? How many catches is this guy going to have? Again, he's only going to have a handful of carries, maybe more than likely double digits. I have Eckler right at about 10 or 11 total carries, but it's the receptions that we're after, especially on DraftKings. It's a full point per reception. So as I said, Eckler, $13,500 on FanDuel, only $9,600 on DraftKings. Now if we go down the list, what are we going to do with Josh Jacobs? Still has the questionable tag, still going through the motions in a way in terms of getting back on the field tonight. Josh Jacobs, the Chargers are 25th overall against opposing running backs. So there is a little bit of open room, open space on the field today for any of the Vegas Raiders running backs. But Josh Jacobs, $12,000 on FanDuel, only $7,600 on DraftKings. So keep your eye out. Let's read and let's read and write and do some notes and see what we can uncover with Josh Jacobs right before kickoff. And again, if he's active, how comfortable do you feel starting Josh Jacobs, especially given the price tag on FanDuel? Moving down, we got Kenyon Drake, Peyton Barber. I mean, Peyton Barber he's been a phenomenal find, early on in the season when we needed it the most with all these nagging injuries and all this nonsense. So Peyton Barber, $10,500 on FanDuel, looks to be $6,800 on DraftKings. Now, in the case, God forbid, Josh Jacobs is out, I'm going to both Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber here. As I said, Drake, only $8,000 on FanDuel, 54. I can't even read my own handwriting. Kenyon Drake is $5,400 on DraftKings. I to be honest with you here, I would this is only if Josh Jacobs is inactive. I have no issue rostering both Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber in this one, and then you can kind of put Austin Eckler in that final flex spot at the bottom. I love that idea. The three running backs in this game who should see the lion's share of the targets and touches here. On passing, Alec Ingold, $6,000 on FanDuel, only $1,600 on DraftKings. With him, he's just a punt play in a big GPP if you have multiple entries. And I think the one on FanDuel, it's like 150 max lineups. Only way you're going to use him there. Larry Roundtree the third, $6,500 on FanDuel, $1,000 on DraftKings. Nothing to see here. Move along. Same thing with Josh Kelly and Justin Jackson. They're both $200 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, nothing crazy. Again, only a play if you're max entering contests on FanDuel and DraftKings. Now, when it gets really juicy here in terms of the wide receivers. Mike Williams, Vegas Raiders are 16th overall against opposing wide receivers. M-Will, as I call him, I don't know about you, $14,000 on FanDuel, only $10,200 on DraftKings. Now, let's talk about Keenan Allen real quick, and then we can kind of, talk about both of them in the same breath here. Keenan Allen, $12,500 on FanDuel, only $8,800 on DraftKings. Now, from what I've seen, Keenan Allen is kind of questionable, dealing with some sore soft tissue injuries in his lower half here. So if Keenan Allen is active, I'm still going all in on Mike Williams. Could we get a case where Keenan Allen is just used as a decoy? I hate saying that. I hate when folks talk that way. And even the coaching staff, they do that on purpose. So in turn, we have to use that to our advantage. If Keenan Allen is active, as I said, I'm still all in on Mike Williams. How much is Keenan going to be involved here? Well, how many targets and receptions does this guy see? So regardless, Mike Williams will be in 100% of my lines, and more than likely he'll be in 85 to 90% owned anyway. So again, he's a free square, just like Austin Eckler. Henry Ruggs III. Only thing here is the Chargers are second overall against opposing wide receivers. Ruggs the third, $11,000 on FanDuel, only $6,400 on DraftKings. Now, I believe with like Ruggs and RENFROW and Bryan Edwards, which I'll get to here in a moment, there's a lot of moving parts on the offensive side of the ball for the Chargers. But as it stands now, the Chargers are up to the task in terms of their secondary. As long as Derwin James is healthy and on the field, he is a monster back there. I would would not want to run into him in a dark alley. He's got the visor. He's going to punch the ball out. He is the definition of a ball hawking defensive player here. So Henry Ruggs III, as I said, 11 grand on FanDuel, $6,400 on DraftKings. Hunter Renfrow, one of my favorite plays this evening. Hunter Renfrow, $9,500 on FanDuel, only $5,800 on DraftKings. And off the top of my head, before I recorded this, I looked through Hunter Renfrow's target share, and I believe in the first 3 games of the season, he's seen no lower than 5 targets. He caught a touchdown last week, I believe, on 6 or 7 total targets here. So, just a case here where we can zig when others zag, and we can grab some sort of little edge. I know Renfrow is going to be a popular play because of his price, but again, this video and me and my videos and everything I do, I'd be an egomaniac to think what I say and what I write has any sway in terms of ownership percentages. I'm just a drop in the ocean, a grain of sand on the beach. So I'm telling you now, get Hunter Renfrow in your lineups. Bryan Edwards, 9 grand on FanDuel, only $5,000 on DraftKings. Again, Ruggs, Renfrow, and Bryan Edwards. Which way are we going to use them? In terms of what I want to do this evening, I think I'm going in on Renfrow and I'll sprinkle in a little bit of Henry Ruggs. I might fade. I am going to fade Bryan Edwards again. A lot of moving parts here. The defense can only cover so many folks. So I firmly believe that what's his name? Bryan Edwards, or excuse me, Henry Ruggs gets loose for like a 30-40 yard touchdown in this one. In terms of the Chargers wide receivers, we mentioned Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I want you to pay special attention to JALEN. As I said, the Vegas Raiders, 16th overall against opposing wide receivers. JALEN is only 7 grand on FanDuel, only $2,400 on DraftKings. And shout out to his mother, Brandy. Her and I have I don't know if we've become friends. We're friends on social media. I have a fantasy football group on Facebook. She's very active in, so I wish her the best. I wish JALEN the best. Could we see one of those patented 70-plus yard receptions for a touchdown games for JALEN here? Let's get it for 7 grand on FanDuel and only $2,400 on DraftKings. I'm willing to bet there. And just a few more: Zay Jones, Josh Palmer. Nothing really crazy there. No need to roster those kids again, unless you're max entering a massive GPP here. In terms of the tight ends, one name sticks out like a sore thumb. Yes, Darren Waller. Chargers are 27th overall against opposing tight ends. Waller, $13,000 on FanDuel, $9,200 on DraftKings. I won't spend a ton of time here. Guy's a stud. He sees double-digit targets week in and week out. Make sure you have some exposure to Darren Waller. There can be some sort of edge or leverage to be gained here if you fade him in favor of Jared Cook or Foster Moreau. That's the move there. If you fade Darren Waller, get some sort of hedge fund betting here with Foster Moreau, who is 7 grand on FanDuel, $1,400 on DraftKings. Jared Cook, the tried and true tight end, $7,500 on FanDuel, only $4,400 on DraftKings. And Donald Parham Jr., nice punt play at the tight end position week in and week out, and more specifically this evening here in Monday Night Football. Parham Jr., 6 grand on FanDuel, only $1,200 on DraftKings. Now, let me tell you what I have for betting purposes before I get into the DSTs here. The over-under is at 52.5 here. I think every bit of it hits. I have the final score being 31-30 in favor of the Chargers, so take the over. That's 61 total points. You can hit that. But I was trying to think of a way, because I love both teams, right? So how can I make everybody happy? So I'm going to take the over, and the Chargers will win the game, but the Vegas Raiders can cover this one. Vegas is getting 3 points. So if you look at the score, 31-30 final, Chargers win, and Vegas still covers. So that should make everybody happy here. So I'm fading both DSTs. Nothing crazy. Chargers, $3,200 on DraftKings. Raiders, $2,800 on DraftKings. And in terms of the kickers, Daniel Carlson and Tristan Vizcaino. Vizcaino, 4 grand on DraftKings. Carlson, $3,800 on DraftKings here. Now, in this game, as I've gone over every offensive player, I'm fading the DSTs and I'm fading the kickers. Look, I don't hate defensive special teams units. I don't hate kickers. There's a time and a place for them. Not in this one. There's too many other studly offensive weapons and too many kind of under the radar plays for me to want to spend a couple bucks on kickers and DSTs here. here. So that is it. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you enjoy Monday Night Football. I will be there with bells on, more than likely in bed with some nachos. And it is what it is. As a single man, no wife, no kids, I'm able to do what I want. Hopefully you can find the same sort of peace and relaxation watching Monday Night Football here. Before I split, just double check. You go to Team Rise or Fall, look at the promo, $9.99 a week. I mean, it's as easy as it gets. Only $1.42 a day here. I mean, that's crazy to me. So again, I have the Chargers winning this game 31-30, but the Vegas Raiders cover. I'll see you next time. More than likely Thursday Night Football. Bye.